Well, hello, Grace Church, and anyone else who's watching. Today is June 21st, 2026, and I thought I would just give you the weekly update. So as normal, I got my notes. Today we have a little bit more spiky hair, but that's okay. Backing up all the way to this past Monday, the day I posted the last video update, but who's exactly counting? Apparently I am, but that's okay. This past Monday was a rest day for us because we'd had a pretty big weekend. So our leaders were like, "Hey, let's take a day off, and just kind of enjoy some time at the house. Go shopping if you want to, but try to stay at the house." And it was really nice. We had biscuits and gravy that we handmade for breakfast, which was amazing, and we just rested the entire day, just hanging out, getting to know one another better, and playing some games. Then at night we had a Bible study about Jonah, Jonah 3, which was really, really interesting. Tuesday was also fairly interesting because it was my symptom day. This is what I kind of emailed the church about a few days ago. My mom and dad said that you guys kindly prayed for me about some of this stuff, which I'm very, very grateful for. It was a pretty hard day, but I had some good conversations with some of the team, and ended up kind of enjoying it, even though I wasn't able to get a lot done per se, and it was strangely rejuvenating and helpful in some facets. In other ways, it was extremely disappointing and frustrating, as I'm sure you can imagine. Wednesday, though, was really good because my teammate Logan and I were able to get lunch with Shoto, the guy I told you guys about in the last video and in the email. Just solid guy, solid lunchtime. We weren't really able to present the gospel or kind of move forward in that conversation because we kind of opened the door up telling him about student impact and crew and some other things. And he just kind of went, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's interesting. I'm glad to know that," and kind of moved on. So there wasn't a lot of place to kind of continue pursuing the gospel there, which was a little disappointing, but kind of par for the course. Not just with Shoto, but even with other Japanese students that we've met. So hopefully we're going to get lunch with him again soon before we leave, and hopefully present the gospel to him as well. But we'll see how the Lord leads. Wednesday we also had men's night. These last two men's nights, we've done tier lists of food that we find at the konbini, or the convenience store. This last time, I'll tell you guys more when I get back. But this last time we had mystery meat that was very mysterious, and I'll just kind of leave it at that. It was a very, very fun time. A good time of bonding with the men here and getting to know one another in a more manly fashion, shall we say. But then Thursday was again our rest day, and that day was a little interesting because one of our teammates, Cope, had to leave. He had some family issues going on at home that he needed to take care of, and so he had to leave the mission trip early this past Thursday. That was pretty sad and pretty hard for me because I'd had some pretty good conversations with him over the course of the trip. But the day ended up good. Went out with some of the guys. We got ramen. Went shopping again too. We've done a lot of shopping recently, but when you're in Japan, apparently you just go shopping. Anyway, but that night we also continued our real mission, which is the mission, and we went to an English exchange at Suita Church. And while we were at that English exchange, it really was just that, hanging out. Then we all sit down and kind of discuss some questions with non-native English speakers, and we're just talking back and forth. And then they even had us try out some Japanese from just the tiniest bit that we knew, which was very interesting and fun. This time was actually like more answers to prayer in several ways. I was talking with one lady, and she was asking, "Hey, so what are you hoping to do after you graduate? What about this or that? And I said, well, one of the things I'm considering is maybe teaching English in Japan, and kind of went off on that for a little bit, and kind of like I've shared in some previous video updates. And what was amazing was this lady just turns to me and she goes, "Oh, my husband has taught English in Japan for like 15 years. You should meet him. Hey, yeah, he's right over here. Let me introduce you." And so I got to meet David, who has taught Japanese here for, I think, 15 years. And he just gave me a lot of really solid advice. He just gave me a lot of really solid advice and continued knowledge of what possibilities there are in Japan like that. There was also a non-Christian family who attended. I got to speak English with them for a little bit, and it was just really nice getting to know them. Very broken English, very, hard to understand, the entire conversation, and the kids are running around, but it was really nice, rejuvenating time with them. And hoping just that they continue coming to the church and things like that. So, but that was Thursday. Friday, we did another day of sharing, and I got to go with Philip, the head of crew in Osaka, and we just went out for about 2 hours and talked to two Japanese students for about one of those hours, and it was just a really nice time getting to know these students and just kind of literally just saying hi, we're Americans, can we talk with you? They were just very chill, very, very interested in America and learning more kind of about our different cultures. So that was really interesting and fun. At Friday, I also got to talk with Kohei Tanaka and Kohei Okada-san again, the two Koheis, which was very fun. But then that night, Friday night, we also had the International Friends Night at Student Impact, or Campus Crusade for Christ, CCC as they say here. And I got to lead the icebreaker with one of my teammates, which was really fun. And I hope everyone else had fun getting to know each other a little bit, playing some Four Corners categories and rock, paper, scissors tournaments and things like that. And that went really well. Got to talk with some current Christians here in Japan too. That was just a big encouragement to me. Saturday, called my family pretty much the entire morning. Got to talk with each of the other 5 members of my family, which was really special. And then I just rested the rest of Saturday because I was pretty tired after the whole week. And then today was really fun because so Sunday we went to church, Suita Gospel Bible Church, and after service, there was one man introduced to the church as a new staff member, or essentially deacon, I suppose. And then another man who was introduced as an observer, hoping to become a deacon within the next year or so. So that was very interesting, getting to know how the church does their church government a little bit better, and just kind of learning some things like that. And then the last thing we did today was a young adult fellowship meal. Got to talk with some very strong Christians here, learned a little bit more about how oftentimes, even if you're a young adult, still connected with your family, if you're going out every Sunday to church, the family might start asking questions and even kind of deny you going. So I talked with some students who have moved away from their families just so that they can go to church, even with all the added burdens that brings. So that was very interesting today, very encouraging again to get to hear their stories, and just talk with them that way. Lastly, a few of the teammates wanted to go shopping, so we did again right after church. But then I came home and I've been resting, making this video, doing some journaling, and reading a book called Kingdom Man by Tony Evans, which is just a fascinating read. That's my update as of June 21st, 2026. This is the last time I'll be updating you guys from Osaka, Japan. Next week, I will be updating you from Tokyo, where we will be doing our 3 days of debriefing. And yeah, we have 4 more days left of ministry on campus and one more rest day. And then Saturday, we have a few more things to do in Kyoto and Osaka as tourists. And then next Sunday, we'll ship out for Tokyo. So thank you guys for praying and continuing to support me that way. So thank you guys.